How are you guys all doing? You're getting downloaded a lot of information. Is everybody hanging in there? Yeah? So first thing I want to say is I think you guys were all picking up a really strong theme, people, right? And my name is Jamie, and I work for a company called Southern Energy Management. We are a for-profit, sustainable energy, triple bottom line business here in North Carolina. We think that we are the greatest sustainable energy team on earth, and I snuck this slide out of one from the co-owners of my company, our husband and wife team. It started about 12 years ago, and with the 20 minutes that I have to talk to you is to represent how does business now take this next step, what you just heard from Ivan about policy and people, and then what is it like to really be in those trenches, take those next steps, and try to do this job on a day-to-day basis, and the things that you're running up against, and how it really does impact. Can you be profitable? Can you make a living at this? We all know it's something that we want to do or you wouldn't be here. So that being said, I would say join NCSEA is going to be a really important thing that everybody in this room needs to do. If you haven't done that yet, get engaged. We are big supporters of that and all the legislation that we have all been working on, especially because we are really into rooftop solar and trying to make this happen. And so I'll tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do. But my goal for you guys today was to give you some clues. So I know we've got a mix of students, and we've also got a mix of people that are just really looking to move clean energy forward, specifically in North Carolina. And what is the secret sauce of what does that take? Because we are creating jobs. These jobs are happening. One of them is mine. But we also have a lot of people that are going out of business, and we are fighting what feels sometimes like an uphill battle. Every day that you're having conversations with people and trying to help them understand why this will make us a happier, cleaner, healthier people is still not why they necessarily buy things from you at the end of the day, and how we can employ this many people doing amazing things. So our little company, let me tell you a bit about what we do just to kind of ground it a little bit. We are home energy raters. We're a sort of a diversified company. The way we have approached clean energy is both from the efficiency side and from the renewable side. So about half our company is a building science firm. And we go out and work with builders and developers and get inside residential homes and communities and help the builders build them better and really work on efficiency and inspections from the ground up. On the solar side, we are solar installers, and we do rooftop solar, small-scale solar, get into people's houses, help you put it up on your house, and these are the impacts that we've had so far. So a little example of how that kind of matches up. We also work in multifamily buildings, and so the building industry is probably maybe only second to the fossil fuel industry in resistance to change. It is the last group that is going to say, yes, let's embrace all these things. We have our early adopters. You've got net zero buildings. And the thing is, I think that you've also heard from everyone speaking so far, is that we have the answers. We know what we need to do to make our buildings better. We're not still inventing that wheel. It's just how do we get people on board? How do they start rethinking what they're doing? How do we take it from your home and where you are and the building you live in all the way through to your community and getting to that clean energy space? So we've gone through a lot of change. It is not easy to be a renewable, clean energy business. It's probably not easy to be any kind of business. It takes a little bit of savvy to be a successful business at all. If you add on to that all the things that we've talked about, which you're trying to talk to most people about things that they're not aware of or even an issue, and then get them to also embrace that and spend their money there, it's challenging. So we've been through quite we call the solar world the solar coaster. If you haven't heard that before and you get into solar, you will, because it is an up and down ride. And you've really got to be able to ride that wave and survive as a business. We have just a little bit like how we've done it since 2001. The picture in the bottom, that's Bert B's Bert. If you've bought a Bert B's product, that's what that guy looks like. So the co-founders of my company started out at Burt's Bees and learned a lot from that space and took a lot of the platforms of business there into what we now do today. We did have a large commercial side of our business for a while and realized diversification. We sold that side of our business off. We've been in lighting. We've been in energy solutions. We've really looked at the clean energy landscape. And one of the big lessons that we have learned from that is that you have to be adaptable. You have to be focused, but you need to be able to adapt and to be flexible. And so I kind of want to cover at least 3 big things, because I think if you're going to run a clean energy business, there's some obvious things that you need to do and obvious things you need to participate in. And then there's the less obvious when it comes to your people. And so, first of all, you have to be in a landscape where you know what you're doing. And from my perspective, when I first started doing this, I've been with this company almost 12 years. And when I first started as a young female in the construction industry, if I didn't know what I was talking about, I was not going to get a builder to do anything. You can't tell me what to do. You don't know anything about any of this. And so, to Ivan's point, and to Leith's point, and to Gina's point, and to Amory's point, meeting people where they are at with trust and respect and working on the solution, a mutual solution, has certainly been key for me. I've had a lot of success. I have a lot of builders that call me all the time, and we work on solutions together. I'm not their enforcer. I'm not their inspector. I'm their partner, and we change things that way. And that was a really smart way to do things. But I have to know what I'm talking about. So, stick with your school or go learn things that you need to learn, because when the opportunity comes for you to provide the answer and you don't know it, they're gone. They're not listening. We've barely got their attention right now. So it is important that you're ready. Know the answers. Don't just get upset about everything. Know what the solutions could be, so when you get their ear, you get it. The next 2 things are something that we learned at Southern Energy, I would say, over the last 3 years. And like I said, I've been there almost 12. And we've gone through a roller coaster, not just of the solar industry and renewables, but people. How do you keep people, good people in a company? How do you keep them employed? How do you provide them opportunities? How do you have smart, passionate people getting things done? Because we have a lot of leaders in our company, and we have a lot of energy. But if we don't focus that energy, we get burnout, we get argument, and we get lots of inefficiency internally in business, just arguing with each other, or not being able to communicate, or not having the same language to address change. And even in a renewable energy company, being told something from the top down versus being invested in it and being able to have your voice heard and be part of a solution makes a huge difference. So how do you clarify a vision? So that sounds like, yeah, of course you need to clarify your vision. That makes a lot of sense. It's a lot harder than you think it is. First of all, you need to know what your passion is. Passion helps because you want to see change. It is part of what you do. It will get you going on those things. It's also, to me, where we're bridging academia and business. It's your what. When you're in school, you get active, you are participating in your sustainability clubs, you're finding ways to do that. When you get into business and you get into jobs and you get into the world, there's a transition. Where's that group? Where's that collective energy? Where's that motivation? How do we get back into that top part of that triangle, and go into the green space? So purpose is when you add goals to your passion, measurable goals that you can see, and we have quarterly goals. We have goals that we work on 30 days and 90 days, and then every quarter we reassess those goals and see where we are, and we get traction that way. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what that is. Everyone needs to be able to state your vision, and a huge thing is managing in what you measure. If you don't measure where you are in your business, you're not going to manage it all that well, and that's going to apply across the board. So here's our secret sauce. This is our vision traction organizer, because we're not kidding. If you don't write these things down and make it really, this is our business plan. It is 1 page. It is not 50. It is a 1-page business plan. And this is it. This is our goals. This is the one we just worked on last quarter. And we shifted a few things. And the biggest, most important thing that I would want for you guys to kind of grasp and walk away with is when we talk about your people, if you don't have a shared mission and you don't have core values that you can rally around, you're not going to be part of that community. You're not surrounding your people in your business with the same people of the support that it takes to get that community and that advocacy off the ground. Our core values don't have to be everybody's, but they do need to be appropriate for your business and your goals, right? So ours, we spell shine. We like to spell things. We have a lot of fun in our group. It's an important part of it. So, seek solutions, have to shifts to get to, innovate for impact, never settle, enjoy the journey. These are concepts that get you rethinking how you're showing up to your job, not just what your job's about. And when you know how you're showing up to your job, you're creating that common language, and I'm excited about it because it works. We've not always had a common language at Southern Energy Management. We've had common goals. We have common passions. We are passionate people that want to see clean energy happen. We want 100% renewables. We want global, warming to go away. We want to fix climate change. But we haven't always been able to communicate around that and haven't always been as effective as we want to be. And there have been times when we didn't know if our business was going to survive, even with a whole group of really passionate people. So another thing that we did to help us get grounded, you take these passionate people and make sure they can still be successful and have the impact, was we looked for another community that said, how can business do that? You don't have to be, business is an important piece of this. This is kind of where the rubber meets the road. So this is what we're saying, this is a valuable, viable thing that we need to pay for, that needs to be part of a profitable situation. We partner with lots of nonprofits. We do a lot of advocacy work and policy, and I'm here today at the university to make sure that we're covering the next layer of students and the next layer of young energy. What about businesses? If you haven't heard of B Corp, look it up. Just Google it. Because when federal government drops the ball or policy isn't happening, business can pick it back up again. Business is the situation that says, all right, whatever, with your regulations, and you're going to say that this is what's going to cost us so much. Business looks at it and says, I see an opportunity. I feel like we can be successful, profitable, and good for the planet. How do we do that? How do we measure that? And then how do we create a group and a certification for your business so that when you go to sell people something, if you want to buy something from me, how do you know that my business actually stands for what you stand for? If your power as a consumer, which we are getting really good at, this is one way that you can let the business know. And it's not easy. This is LEED for businesses. It's a checklist, it's a situation, and it's not easy. We were in the top 10 of B Corps on our scoring card 3 years ago, and we're in the top 20 now because it keeps getting harder. And we are a clean energy business, and it's still hard to measure on these three bottom lines. But we think it's important, and so we do it, and we tell people. This is our mission, and every single person in our company can state this mission. Again, I want you guys to know how to take a business, and whatever business you choose to do or whatever field you choose to go into or may already be in, if every person in your organization cannot state your mission, you don't have clarity, you don't have clear vision, and you're not going to be powerful. So we can all do this, and in fact, over the last 2 quarters of the beginning of 2017, every single person in our 77, person company has been through a training to learn exactly all of these things. Every single person, our accountant, our accounting department, our field technicians, all our sales folks, every single person can state these missions and state our core values. So here's the most important thing, and here is where we've really figured it out. When we say we want to change the way people make and use energy, the thing that's really hit home for us the last year, 2 years, is the people part of it. We're not just changing the way people make and use energy, we're changing the people that make and use the energy. And I will say, having been in this industry for now, 17 years, that's the hardest thing to change, are people. We create as much situation as we can so that people have the least amount of barriers to do the right thing. But when you're trying to change people's minds or change people, that's where it sometimes gets really tenuous, and that's where we are. And that's where the conversations can feel like they're really hard. So how do you do that? How do you get all the people talking the same language or have those interesting conversations? You show up to your purpose. You have those core values, and then you hire, fire, and rally around them. And we have not had a fire. We haven't let anyone go from our company, which is always a hard thing to do when you're kind of a close-knit company anyway. People care about people. But we haven't done that in 2 years because we have had people self-select out. If they realize that we're all on board, these are our core values, and everybody says, okay, I accept these core values, these are my core values, we celebrate them, we have Shine On Awards, we say, who in the company this month really represents seeking solutions, and we give an example of what they've been doing, how they've been doing it. We say have to get to. That's a really fun language change to really try it out. Try it out all day today. Every time you think you get to say have to, say get to. It's hard. But it shifts your perspective, and that little shift starts empowering people. Instead of telling them what to do, they're already thinking of how to make things better. And that power from the middle that Leith addressed when she was saying, how does you get management coming from the middle? This is how. You have your core values, you know what they are, and you say, am I the right person for this seat? And the business says, are you the right person for this seat? What needs to happen for the business to make the business successful? And then are you lining up? Maybe you're just like, these people are too energetic. I need to chill out. This is way too fast-paced for me. I love what they're doing, but I don't belong here. I belong somewhere else. And it gives you the power to make that decision and say, where is my passion the best fit? That's key. And it has completely shifted the way that we do business. And we, in the last 2 years, with the amount of legislation, the tax credit going away for solar, and the shrinkage that has happened and a lot of solar companies going out of business, we have maintained, and this is the key reason why, because we have come up with creative solutions as a team on how we're going to move forward. The 3 resources that I wanted to share with you, because it's about traction. This is secret sauce type of thing. If you haven't done and you haven't checked out and you're in the business world, start here. There's a lot of how to do a great business. We've been through a lot of them. We've leaned our business. We did the Rockefeller habits. Now we're in the entrepreneurial operating system, EOS. This is where it will give you the step-by-step places in your business to empower your people. And because that is really what I've found being there for the last 12 years when we have done it. I want to show you guys these guys again. These guys here, these are all ASU grads. We hire a lot of ASU grads because they're already coming out, and this is just taken this past Friday. I just ran around the office and was like, who is here? And half of our team is out in the field all the time. We are installing solar or we are inside houses. So this, on a whim, was how many ASU grads I could get in a room in like a 10-minute period. But it's opportunity. And if you aren't showing up to your purpose and if you are not empowering your people, it is going to be challenging to be a sustainable, clean energy business and to be successful at it and to really make the impact. You'll go in and out of business. And so people really are the key. All of these guys have been through the main EOS training. And Jenny right there in the front, she just recently awarded our Never Settle Shine On Award for her work with the Duke Energy Utility and the partnership that we have there to bring rebates to housing. So my goal for you guys today was to really find some resources and some traction and to not lose the idea that business can be a force for good. It is where we are picking up the ball that is dropped, and it is important that you do this with your business and that you start from the middle and that you work the way out. Good luck with it. Thank you, guys.